Well, you've just been sitting down to have a rest for 5 minutes because that was some game.
Yeah, fantastic game of football. Thought it was harsh really that any team deserved to lose. So I feel a bit for Harrogate in that regard. I think a draw again would have been right on a fantastic advert for non-league football, end to end, both teams trying to win the game. I thought you saw 3 quality goals as well today. And you know, without Craig Eastman's brilliant defensive header at the end, it would have been a 4th great goal. So, you know, so hard, as I keep saying, to win. You know, to win in this league and to get that 3 points today was why we were so pleased at the end. I mean, the crowd were buzzing at the end as well, and I think everyone around the club knew what a big 3 points it was. Fantastic.
Lots of good football from both sides.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, we decided to go very physical against them in the first sort of hour, and the idea was to try and get our pace on in the last half an hour. I mean, I don't think I did it in the end to about 72 minutes, but you know, we had a massive problem with Jamie Collins being out defending set pieces against them. They're a big side, and obviously, you know, tactically as well, we set up to let Beck win the first header and then pick up the seconds behind him with Eastman as a screen. We were aware that we were going to give away possession today against them, which we were happy to do in their half. And then the idea was to squeeze them, press them as soon as the ball came into our half, which I thought actually generated a lot of good chances for us today. But really pleased for Harry. I've got to say that, you know, had a difficult time since he's come back with us. I think we're seeing Harry of old, from, you know, for the last 4 games, and I'm absolutely, you know, delighted for him.
Good, looked like a well-worked move for the first goal as well.
Yeah, but he's got fantastic delivery. You know, and I mean, you go back to pre-season, the game against Dorking Wanderers, it's very similar. But great header from Jonah as well. He's got across the near post, which we ask our forwards to do, and that's a brilliantly guided header as well. Gave the keeper no chance. So from that point of view, you know, really well worked goal. It's something we work on lots of. 2 forwards getting across the near post from those free kick positions. And then, as I said, I thought their keepers made a fantastic save from Bolanara as well. That looked like it was going in. With these games, you always need that second goal. You know, I've got to say, I think Harrogate are one of the best 5 teams in this league. You know, they're in a little bit of a spell, but it's not because they're playing poorly. It's just the way that things are running for them, and we all get that during the season. But they'll be right up there. You know, and I'll say again, they're a full-time team. You know, I think they travelled down yesterday morning. You know, luxury coach, trained at Slough in the afternoon, had a luxury hotel last night, and you know, they prepared for the game in a very professional way because they can. And they got the funding to do it, and that's the point I'm trying to make to everyone. You know, when we go up on the day and we get these away wins, you know, it's a massive credit to the players, and you know, that today was up there with a real top win for me.
After Harrogate had got back into it with a fairly special goal themselves, then last 15 minutes Brandon and Darren came on, and that pace just looked to make the difference.
Well, I thought we changed the game in our favour when Davis came on and we matched them, which was sort of the intention was, you know, people would be surprised that Kenny perhaps wasn't starting. But it was the idea to get the ball forward quickly to our front 4. If you look at it, Jonah's 6'4", Brett 6'2", Jimmy 6'2", Bolly back fit. So we had a fast, quick, physical front 4. And then, you know, it was the right time to bring Kenny in and go 1-to-1 against their 3. And then bring Brandon and Darren on. And as I said, we've had to be patient with Darren in terms of getting him fit and ready to go. But I think you saw that electric burst of pace on 2 or 3 occasions. And between Brandon and Darren and Dale Bennett, you know, they've created a very good second goal. And, you know, like I said, being without rose tinted is harsh on Harrogate. But from an Amber point of view, absolutely brilliant.
And right at the end there, you mentioned Craig's defending not once but twice in the right place on the goal line.
Yeah, listen, you're always going to come under the cosh. I mean, let me just point out again, no Aswood Thomas at left back, Nicky filling in. No Skipper, who everyone knows I think is the best player in this football club. So to go with that back 4 today, with again, young Brad Pearce, thought was outstanding. Beckwith's come in and done what we all know he can do, doesn't get enough credit, Dean. And Nicky again, 5th game on the spin at left back, for someone who's 35. Will play left back for me, right back for me, centre midfield. He'd go in goal if I asked him to. So, very proud of the squad tonight. But I do think those 2 young boys came on and totally changed that last 15 minutes around for us. And we could have, you know, nicked another one on the break as well. But the last 5 minutes, you know, I said to you when I came in, absolutely shattered. Because you feel that, you know, you're heading every ball, you're kicking every ball. But I didn't head it as well as Craig Eastman did, because that was a phenomenal clearance off the line, right underneath the bar as well. And if Thompson had scored that, he's then scored 2 brilliant goals in the game.
Good as well with Jamie Butler being injured, to be able to bring back bring back Ross Warner.
Yeah, so as I try to explain to everyone, you know, Ross had to go because of the finances in terms of the whole budget, but we always knew that we had the option within 24 hours to bring him back. So that's what we've done, and we're able to do that. And in the same way, you know, if Josh Taylor, and we got low on numbers, within 28 days, then you can bring Josh back. But as I said, we've got a real nice tight-knit squad of 17, 18 at the moment. It'll make a huge difference to get Brown, Thomas and Collins back. They're three big senior players for us. But in before that, you know, you've got Jonah 20, McQueen 22, Brandon's 20, Pearce is 19. You know, you had a young team out there today that I thought fought for the shirt and didn't do themselves any harm. You know, there'll be people watching these young players, and this is what it's about. And you know, they've got to hope that they're good enough to earn themselves a professional contract somewhere. Because as I said, you know, that's where we are in the pecking order.
And in the top 7 for the first time this season.
Yeah, we said before the game, anyone fed up with being 8th, and I think even if we'd lost today, we'd still have been 8th. But you know, to get to 6th now, I think it is, with the game in hand. You know, as I said, it's a fantastic effort, and you know, we just keep going. What's that? 49 points.
Yep. So
we've got 3 more to go to hit my first target. But you know, this group doesn't surprise me. I see the work, the ethic, the togetherness of them, and I think, you know, our supporters should feel very, very proud of that group in there, because they do in the main fight against the odds. But we got, you know, Eastman's been with us, what, 3 years now, Bailey 3 years, Collins 3 or 4 years. You know, you've got people in there making 200, 300 appearances now. So the spine of the team, which is important, you know, your absolute key players, want to be here. And obviously not for financial reasons, but because they like being here and it suits maybe their lifestyle. But I mean, Eastman is a phenomenal player to be still at our club, and he won't go anywhere now. I mean, what's he, 28, 27, 28? I think Craig will be here, you know, and probably finish his career here. You know, Bailey, you've got your Collins, as I said, I can keep rolling off. Dean Beck's been with me for 3 years. Ross Warner's been here for 3 years. I'll tell you what a phenomenal signing Dale Bennett's been as well. You know, he gives you everything, every game, always fit. And he's your 7 or 8 out of 10, and he's a man. He knows this league inside out. So we've got a nice mix of experience. We've got a really nice mix of the young ones coming through. And like I said, we have to give the young players a chance. And, you know, that always gives me as much of a thrill as anything. I think Brad's 8th game on the spin.
I think so.
You know, he's done very, very well. So lots of reasons, as I said, after Bromley, to be happy driving home again, and let's see where we end up. But as a group, they're a good group.
And a week of cup football coming up now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll make a comment on that. I do again feel Bromley beat us on the day, and they deserved, you know, to go through. The situation was that we got thrown out of the FA Cup and missed a game against Manchester City.
FA Youth Cup.
And we were advised at the time by the FA that, you know, you should check every game. So from my point of view, Ray Ward was doing his job. None of us were aware that he'd made the inquiry. I think we got an email from Ray on the Tuesday, Wednesday, inferring that one of their players was improperly playing. And as I said, I genuinely do feel sorry for Neil Smith and his players, because they deserve to go through on the day. But it's happened to us. It happened to us at Maidstone, and it's happened to our, you know, to our youth players for an international clearance. The point I would make is that it's a tough job being a club secretary. No one in the right mind really would want to do it, because there's so many little things that you can get wrong, and it's human error, which, you know, I feel particularly sorry for the Bromley secretary. I don't know him personally. I genuinely feel sorry for him, because it's an error that we've made in the past. Difference is ours probably are volunteers, but nevertheless the pressure's on the likes of Ray Ward and the other secretaries. So our view is we go to Spennymoor, feel disappointed, I mean that, for Bromley, but we go there, you know, with a chance to progress. I don't even know where we are in the competition. Is it the last 32?
Yes.
So we got a chance to progress. What I would say, and everyone who knows me will know, that I've already looked at Spennymoor once I knew we were going, and they look a really, really good side. With their games in hand, they'll be 1st or 2nd or 3rd in that league. You know, Chorley are a really, really good side. That Conference North is a strong league. So we know we've got to go there and perform, but there'll be nothing, you from us that says we're not going to go there with full intentions of trying to get a result. But yeah, we're lucky to be back in it. But in life, sometimes it happens for you, sometimes it doesn't. And I've been on the receiving end of what's happened to Neil Smith, and it's not nice. So no gloat in this end, but I would make the point that our secretary did what he was advised to do by the FA after the Manchester City scenario had happened. So, from that perspective, it's a tough job they've got, and I don't relish the job that they have to do either. When we've had mistakes against us, I think as a club, we've always got round our club secretary, we've always put our arm around him, no one's blamed people, whoever it was at the time, and you have to support your secretary, and that's what we've always done. It's disappointing, but it's human error, and tell me someone who's not made an error. I've certainly made a few.
And before that, Chelsea on Tuesday night, a chance for the youngsters to have a
yeah, so that's changed a little bit. Obviously, a really good thing tonight was Crosley Lamina, Jude Mason, were on the bench. Brad Pearce was playing. So the reality is that probably Jude and Crosser could now do with 90 minutes, but they'll be in the 16 again on Saturday. We haven't got anyone else to bring in. We lose Brett Williams next Saturday because he's cup tied. So if you take the 16 that we had today, that puts us down to 15, and Ross Warner's cup tied. So a lot of work's going into getting a lone keeper in for the trophy games, because I think if we get through Saturday, there'll be one 3 weeks after.
First Saturday of February, yeah.
So again, don't think Butler will be fit for that if it's February. February the 1st?
February the 2nd. Yeah.
February the 2nd.
First Saturday of February.
Yeah, Butts is out for 4 to 6 weeks. So what we're offering a good young keeper is a chance to play in 1, maybe 2, if we replay, maybe 3 games. So, it's a chance for a keeper to get some games under his belt, and it's one that Seb's, our goalkeeping coach is obviously onto now.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks, Paul. Very
Thanks,
much.
Tony.
Great game.
Cheers.
Cheers.